So let us begin our topic on electric field. So we want to understand how the charges are interacting and what they are doing in their surroundings. So how we try to understand is that when you take two charges again, let us take two like charges, and when they are in a region, so what do we know? They repel each other. So it doesn't matter where you are putting the second charge. So the first charge simply knows that the presence of the second charge and it repels it. And same thing, the first charge will also get the repulsion because of the second charge. So now the question is, how does the first charge know that there is a second charge in its surrounding, and that too in that position? And it's like, how do they communicate? How do they know that one charge is there and it has to apply the force on this? So now to understand, this is what really happens, and we want to try to uh, understand this and explain the phenomena. Understand and explain the phenomena. So in order to understand this thing which is really happening, so Faraday has given the concept of field. So Faraday, so in order to explain this phenomena, the Faraday introduced the concept of electric field. And what does this, the field theory? So basically putting forward the field theory. So what does it say is that, so whenever you take a charge, so if you take some charge, what is the theory says is that every charge will produce electric field in this region. So this is the region surrounding it, and the field theory says that charge will produce some electric field in this region. And so because of this electric field, there will be forces acting on the other charges. That's what the field theory is. Now, so we are saying that now the thing is, if every charge, whether it is positive or negative, doesn't matter, if it produces the field, if it produces a field, so we can use the symbol, we use the symbol E, and why it is, it's a vector, we'll just see that. And so if you take for example positive charge, now we want to visualize this and as well as know it, and let us also define it as well. So for example, what is the effect of this charge? If this is a source charge, if you say it, if you're saying that every charge is producing, so out of the many charges, if you pick one charge, if you call that as a source charge, because it is what it is producing it. And what is then we are going to do is that, so if you put, you want to know how much electric field it is producing, so you want to test it. So for that purpose, we're taking a small test charge, and by convention or by definition, we take the test charge. The q naught is what we're calling it as the test charge. So test charge is the one which is very small. Why it is taken very small? Because so that it doesn't disturb whatever it is producing. This is a source charge, it is only there to just test it, you're not going to disturb it. So it is taken to be very small. Once it's taken very small, and that too it is taken to be positive charge only. And now what is going to happen? The effect of this electric field is what is the thing? It is said to be the force here. So it is going to experience the force, and so this force is because of a thing is the electric field. So more the electric field, then more is the force. So that's what is the effect we are saying due to the electric field. And so how do we measure this? How do we measure this? And this electric field is produced because of this. So it should be independent of this one. So that is the reason why the electric field is defined as the force per unit charge. So that is divided by the charge that you have kept it there, and that's how it is defined as. And so more, since it has to be very small, we can also write in this manner. So electric field at a point is equals to as limit, so that taken to be tending to be 0, it is f by q naught also can be said. This is what mathematical definition. So generally we can say electric field, that is the strength of the electric field is defined as in this manner. So basically the strength of electric field is different and electric field is different. How they are different is, electric field is the region in which, so we can say the electric field generally refers to the region, and in this region, what is the thing we are seeing? We are experiencing the electric forces, like that we can call that as in terms of electric effects. The region in which electric effects can be experienced by other charges. So this the region in which electric effects are experienced by the charges, that region is called as, in that region there is said to be electric field is there. Just like if you see the example, like when you say cricket field, so generally the cricket field or football fields they're used to do what purpose? For that particular playing ground. So the same way here electric field is a region in which you can see the electric effects. And so now we know what it is, and if you are, this is a our new physical quantity. What is it doing? We know it. It is going to explain why there are forces. So it is going to explain the effect, that is the effect on the other charges like forces. It is going to explain. And so when we're defining it, what is it said? It is F by Q. That means when you want to know the units, what is the units can be said as? It is Newton per Coulomb. So this is what is the SI unit of electric field. That is, we can also say. So, and also there is also one more unit that is also called as volt per meter. What is volt and what is the thing we'll discuss when we see the electric potential. So for now, either we can say Newton per Coulomb or volt per meter, they represent the same things, right? And so when you're talking more about this electric field, it's a vector quantity, because when we are saying force per charge, charge is a scalar and vector by scalar is a vector. So electric field is a vector quantity. Then if you are wondering about the direction, if you're wondering about the direction, then what direction it is going to be there? So generally, if you take a positive charge, and that is what a source charge. If you take negative charge, and that is one more source charge, and how do you test it? We put a some small positive charge, small positive charge. So now in this case, it is going to experience force in this direction. Then if this is positive, then E and F are in same direction. That means here electric field is in this direction as just as force. That means what we can say, if there is a positive charge, it produces electric field at a point. At any point, how does it produce electric field? Due to positive charge, how it is there? The direction of arrow, how does it point? It always points away from it. It always points away from the charge. But if you take the negative charge, so, and this is what the source charge now, it is the one which is producing it, and the electric field only depends on that. So now in this case, this is negative charge and this is positive charge. What is going to happen? It's going to experience force in this direction. So that means now what is the electric field here? It is coming out to be, since the test charge is positive, that's what we are saying, that electric field and force are always in same direction. That means due to the negative charge, electric field is towards the, so electric field due to negative charge is towards the charge it, towards the charge it is coming out to be. Okay, so this is what is the thing we have to remember. So what does a positive charge do? It will produce electric field away from it, and what is the negative charge do? It will produce electric field towards it. So that's what is happening here. And so we know that the electric field is produced by the charge, and we want to know what is the strength, whether the field is stronger or weaker. That is, if the field is stronger, automatically force will be stronger. If the field is weaker, the force will be weaker. So we want to measure the strength of the field, or we can say intensity. So we are taking, and we want to know the value basically. So at a particular point, how many Newton per Coulomb is their electric field strength? So at a point, at a distance of r, there's a point, and since it's a positive charge, it's going to produce electric field away from it. That means along this line, it is going to produce, and we want to find it. So how do you find it? We know the definition. How to find E is equals to, it is F by Q naught. That means whatever the charge you're going to put it there, some Q naught, you're going to put it there. What is the force it is going to experience? That is what comes from Coulomb's law. And if you are writing in terms of magnitude, what is you can write as F by Q naught. So that means we can write, so it is in terms of direction, but we know already direction, we are only looking for the magnitude. When you're looking for magnitude, so in this case, what it is coming out, so F is equals to, we can write K Q naught by R square is a Coulomb force. And when divide by Q naught, what will happen? So K Q naught by R square by Q naught. So Q naught got cancelled. What is electric field strength is coming out to be? KQ by R square. So at this point, what is the strength of the field is simply KQ by R square. So point charge will produce the strength of the field at the point. It depends upon R. As you go far away, the field strength will decrease. And as you go to infinity, the electric field becomes zero. And now, so complete representation. We know magnitude and we know direction. So for example, if we take a charge here, and if you want to know at this point what is the field, so we can show graphically, that is in the graph, we can show the electric field in the direction. If this is positive charge. Now, so what is the mathematical representation of the vector? So if you take this charge is located at, if you say this is R1 vector, that is the position vector of the charge, and this is the at the point position vector R2. So now since it is positive charge, then electric field is what in this direction. So what is this? We say this is a smaller vector. So what is this R vector can be written as? So it is known that it is, we can say that it is head minus tail. So this is what it is coming out. And so what is the distance R is equals to? It is the, what you can say, it is mod value of, this is R2 minus R1 vector, right? And so now how do you find this vector in vector notation? We want to write it. So it is what? It is kq by r square. It is magnitude. And what is the direction? It is in the direction of, okay, we are writing it as different r here, just we are using different notation. So what is the thing we are seeing here is that this is r cap, we can say it. Again, okay, again I've written the same thing. Just let me erase it once again. What it is coming out is r, it is coming out. So here, this is the magnitude and this is the direction. So this is what is the vector notation, and we can re-modify it as we want to. So what is this kq by r square, and what is r cap can be written as? So r cap is always can be written as the vector by its magnitude. So that means we can also write it as vector by its magnitude. So we can also write electric field is equals to kq by r cube into r vector. So you can find in this manner. So generally E is inverse proportional to r square, but in vector format you'll be getting r cube is denominator because you written here r vector. Okay, so either this one you can use it to write the vector notation, and this is what will be coming out. And next, so what if there are multiple charges? So now because of this charge, this is a positive charge, so what it is going to do? So if this at this point it is going to produce electric field in this direction. If this is E1 vector, now because this is negative charge, it is going to produce electric field towards it. That is what E2 vector. And if because of this, if it is going to produce electric field, it is going to produce electric field in this direction. That is what we can say E3 vector. Now at this point, because of all these charges, if you want to find net electric field, so since they all are vectors, we have to add them vectorially. So when you are adding these electric fields to get the net electric field, that means if there are more charges, then more fields will be coming. Since only 3 are there, you can use only 3. So what is the thing you're applying is that this is called as the superposition principle. So that is to find the net electric field. So due to multiple charges, each charge producing the electric field, the net electric field is due to the vector addition of all these electric fields. So what is that writing in this manner is called as applying the principle of superposition. Okay, so for example, let us, if you want, let us do a simple problem here. So example, so if you take a charge, or we are saying multiple charges, if this is one charge, this is another charge. So these 3 points, they're forming equal triangle, and out of this equal triangle, only 2 charges are there. That is, these 2 charges are at the 2 vertices, and we want to find what is the field at this point. So now what is going to happen? Because of this, the electric field in this direction, because of this electric field in this direction, then if this is E1 vector, if this is E2 vector, so if you say this distance is A, if it is equal triangle, then this is also A, and as well as this is also A. And if this is 60 degrees, then this will also be 60 degrees. Now, if you want to find net electric field, it is E1 vector plus E2 vector. So now what is E1 value is equals to? E1 is equals to KQ by A square. And same thing goes for E2 also. Now we know 2 vectors, and how to add these 2 vectors. If you want to get only the magnitude, we can use the triangle law or parallelogram law of addition. It says that E square plus e square. If you say e1 e2 is equals to some e, because both are equal, e square plus 2 e square cos 60. The angle between them is 2 vectors is cos 60. That is 1 by 2 will be coming. So what it is coming out, resultant is root 3e it is coming out. So that means what it is? So root 3 times of k q by a square is a net electric field at that point. So this is what we are getting. So this is how, if there are two, we are doing. If there are multiple are there, you can write in vector format and you can find the net electric field. Okay, and next. So we are saying that the charge is producing electric field in the region. Then can we see them? Is it, can we see with our eyes? No, it is not, it cannot be seen. It is a imaginary, it is a concept has been introduced by the Faraday so that we can explain the things how they happen. In order to just explain that the why this charge is exerting force on this one, in order to explain this concept has been introduced. So, and if you want to visualize them, so we have to use one more concept called as showing the electric field in terms of electric field in the form of some lines, electric field lines, or you can even call them lines of force also. So what are these electric field lines? They are used to generally to visualize this. So that means, for example, so first of all, electric field lines we talk about, first they're imaginary lines to represent electric field in the region. So how they are representing is, so basically when you are drawing a line, so the line direction represents the direction of field. That means, so direction of, if you whenever the direction of field if you are looking for, just if you look at the field lines, they will tell you. That is, if it is a straight line, if the electric field line, if it's already a straight line, then the straight line represents directly the direction. The straight line directly represents the field direction. But if it is the curved line, if it is a curved line, for that what is the thing you have to do? For that curve, you draw the tangent. When you draw the tangent, so tangent to the curve represents the direction of the field at that point. Tangent to the curve at the point represents the direction of field at the point. So first of all, let us visualize for one or two things. Like if you take some positive charge, if you take some positive charge, so what is happening here? So if at this point the field is in this direction. If you take at this point the field is in this direction. So in order to show this all, so what you can do is that, so at every point here also field is in direction. So if you join all these points and you are going to get these lines in this manner. So these lines which I am drawing, which shows the electric field at each and every point. So this is what they are, electric field lines. So basically we are drawing them so that we can represent the field at any point. At this point, field in this direction. At this point, field in this direction. And if you take negative charge, so how do you think the diagram will be coming for? So for example, if you take the negative charge, it is like this. At this point, the field in direction. At this point, the field is in direction. So if you join the whole thing, we can show it in this manner. So it is towards, because it is attracting the positive charges. That means the field lines are towards it. The lines of force, also we can say they are towards it. The field of lines, they also called as, we can also call as lines of force. Also we can call them. Okay. So since it is a negative charge, and by convention we take the positive charge and they're going to be two. So this is what is happening. And when you're observing one more thing, what is this happening is that, so electric field lines, where are they starting and where are they ending? So where do they originate from? Origin. And where do they end? So if you're observing here, so you can see that. So their origin is, so you can see here for the positive charge, there's origin they're having, and so they might be, if you see that they are going to where, they might be going to infinity. So this is one case. This is possible, and this happens when there is when only positive charge is isolated. But if you take, you can see that in this case, in the negative charge case, where they are starting from infinity and where they are going to end. So at a negative charge. So this is what second case, when the only negative charge is isolated. But if positive charge and negative charge are in the nearby region, so what may happen is that then electric field lines, they will start from positive charge and they'll end at a negative charge. So this is what, there are the three possibilities here. The electric field lines, they origin either from positive charge, they may end at infinity, or start from infinity, go to negative charge, or start from positive charge, they may end at negative charge. So this is, so how you should draw the line.